Pigs fly. I am Patty. I am joined by Tracy and Renee. Good morning, ladies.
Hello.
Morning.
All right, today we've got a fun and juicy subject, and this one you guys are going to love. So listen up. We are talking about infinite intelligence. And so I know those of you that are following some of the Schumann updates know that I've been talking about recently how our brain and our mind body are all getting upgrades. And this means that we in the 5D, our operating system is getting out of the head and going into the heart. And it's going to be that the knowledge comes from the heart and then goes to the noodle, I call it. So the brain's function is getting back to what it was originally intended for. It was not meant to keep us in fight or flight and create solutions. And so we're going to share with you our own personal experiences and thoughts about infinite intelligence. So who would like to kick this one off? Any takers?
I think you should kick it off, Patty, actually.
Okay. So for me, when I'll talk about when I started to truly realize and trust the difference in between infinite intelligence and then that book knowledge, right? Or stuff that's in your memory bank. And it just drops in for me. And I know we talk about this all the time. Typically, sometimes it's when you're in the shower, or when you least expect it, you have an impulse and the way I see it is that I didn't struggle to get the answer. I
Mm.
wasn't in my head working it out. I was not doing when, as soon as I recognize when I'm in the head, I'm in my history files. And now I'm like, nope, those are burned. They're not burning, they're burnt. In 5D, we go in naked. So we have a blank slate. So with the blank slate, right? Um, how are we getting knowledge? Well, part of the ascension is that we have our intuition is coming online, our third eye, everything is getting upgraded, and our ability to perceive the information is now greater than ever. Um, Everything's getting enhanced. For me, telepathy, intuition, it's just so easy. And I think have patience with yourself and know that when you get an impulse, like for me, if something drops in like that, and of course, now the guides are like, write that down. Because I had a bad habit. I have a great memory. Everybody who knows me, they're like, oh my God, you have a memory like a fucking elephant. Like they sometimes they don't want to tell me something. They're like, she's gonna vomit our words back to us verbatim. And but that I realized that's gone bye-bye. That has to go bye-bye. And now if something comes in, it's like write it down. I keep notepads near the bed too. If I wake up with, something and I go, oh, okay, there's a lesson in there. And all I can tell you is that you just know. And I'm going to tie this into actually a couple of comments that I saw this morning in the community where a couple of you have been asking about dreams. So dreams cover a spectrum of things that can be happening. Sometimes it's your guides are healing you while you're sleeping because it's with ease and grace and it's the gentlest thing. So you might be seeing this wacky movie of people that have been in and out of your life. And they're very vivid right now too with this strong energy. But then there's that dream that wakes you up and all I can tell you is you just know, whoa, that's new. You know it's new. You may not understand the context. A lot of times I'm writing shit down or I go to read it the next day. Renee, I don't know if you've had this or Tracy. You scribble in the middle of the night and then you go, oh God, why did I use an acronym? Forgot what it meant. But in doing that, sometimes it jars it and it comes in um initially as almost like it's faint. It's it's a whisper. And you then it over time it does you like I said, you just gain this trust about it, start to write it down. When I ask for solutions, if there's something that a situation presents itself, right? Real life is still happening for all of us. So, and I just call everything a situation, by the way, deliberately. I don't call it a problem because that's a 3D, because problem puts is re-engaging, uh-oh, I got to go in my head and solve it. And instead I go, okay, this situation presented to me, show me a solution through the eyes of love, through 5D, whatever you want to say, with golden light, whatever verbiage you're comfortable with, and I ask for guidance on that, then you let it go. Then you let it go. And at the appropriate time, I can give a great example of this. If anybody's ever been trying to tell a story and you're trying to recall either the name of a place or a person, and then you're like, oh gosh, what was their name? What was their name? And then 3 days later, bing, Bob Smith pops into your head, and you're like, ah, shit, that was the guy's name. That is how that is infinite intelligence in action. It's all in there. So we all have information to all access at all times. Quite true. We have access to people information that's in other people's knowledge base. So it really is, it's a consciousness that we have now, that we've always had access to, and then now we're really, this is how moving forward to our operating system. So there you go. Sorry, that was a little long.
No, no, that was perfect. And I think I just want to, double down on that whole aspect of the information is sort of coming in new ways as well. Like, so it's that aspect of, it's that knowing, and some people don't actually recognize the knowing only because you're so tapped in, you've been so tapped in your entire life that you're not recognizing you are automatically going through and doing things before they need to be done. I've run into a lot of people lately like that. And they're like, but I don't know. And I'm like, no, you've always known. You're always ahead of the game. So stop looking for, oh my God, I need this information, or I don't get this. Because the minute you're saying you don't get it, that's actually what's actually happening. But a ton of people right now. And I'm gonna, venture from everything they're showing me, our community, you're in there and if you're in there and you're saying like, I don't know, I feel like I'm behind the scenes, I'm, the back person in the Zumba class, whatever it is, I can guarantee you, no, you're not. Pay attention and start to look back at your life and start to recognize, wait a minute, I've always done this, and this. Oh, I was ahead of the game on this. I was ahead of this. I did this, and we are so tapped in. It's the human mind that's screwing you up. The human mind thinks that, oh, it's got to be this way because this person does it, this person does it, and that's not the way it is. It's just like when we were talking about intuitive eating. Like, we've always known, okay, this is what it is. But a lot of times you go to a restaurant and you get, this big plate of food. Like, now when I go to a restaurant, when they bring me the food, I tell them with my order, bring me a to-go box, because I put half and then probably sometimes more in there, because there is a lot of food they're giving us a lot of times. And it's, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be eating there. This is, hey, or you're talking, you're not recognizing you're eating all the stuff. So it's starting to recognize, do I need this? Is this what I need? Is my body calling for this? This time of now is about really paying attention to your body. What your wants are, or okay, this is what my system is calling for. That's what I'm going to call the need. My system's calling, for this. I really need this to survive. Okay, I got to have it. But it's so much smaller than what we think. And I'm going to drop it to Tracy now, because this is exactly what we were talking about off screen on the needs, the wants, whatever. So hopefully that made sense.
Yeah. And I think it's also a good, if tapping into universal intelligence for me, when I'm opening myself up to information, it's without boundaries. And I understand that it is we're on default setting, most of us, to have it have a definition or be proven. And that to me is kind of a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is something that is known, that is defined, that has been proven. So if you open yourself up to wisdom, it's not known and it's not proven. And I think the human mind wants to, yeah, but it, well, yeah, but that's not how it works. Or, yeah, but, and if you can kind of crack that open and have there be no yeah, buts. And my favorite analogy for people is, if you've ever watched a sci-fi movie and there's a resonance of truth to that, or like the Matrix or Avatar, I think it's called the Avatar with the blue. And we all do at some level. I'm going to say that we all have at some level, some awareness and understanding of, gosh, there's truth in that. Yeah. Wait, or my favorite, well, you all know me, my favorite, any superhuman, like, like, yeah, Spider-Man can do that. I can totally do that. I haven't 100% figured it out yet, or whatever the words, but so there's just some examples to open your mind of course that's possible. Of
Yeah.
course someone thought of it, so it is. Are
Yeah.
we maybe doing it real time? Not yet. But so that's my first comment about universal intelligence is it is truly infinite and it is truly endless. And we all have the tendency to, yeah, but the crazy conversation, which I love to have the crazy conversation, which segues into the need-based of, I truly believe the concept and definition of what we think we need is going to vastly, vastly change, which is awesome. Because what if we didn't need to eat? How cool would that be? Like in my world, I love food. So I wouldn't eliminate it from my experience, but I would by choice when I want, with the only ramification being joy. So that's the extent to how you can open your mind and your awareness and your understanding to access this universal intelligence and to start redefine how you're stepping through life and what you have exposure to. And I think most people in this community, we love intuition. We love to see further. We love to know, what does that mean? Operate from my heart. What is my next step? Without knowing, that's where it's at. Really opening yourself up to, what really do I need in the next moment? Hmm.
Yeah. And
I
I'm
don't know. Do
feeling.
I even need gravity to keep my feet on the floor? I mean, I go way out there. Shit, what if I started floating? Would I freak out? Or would I be like, what?
We already know, Tracy, if you started floating, that you're happy as hell.
Exactly. So really
Yes.
busting it open.
Yeah, Tracy, this is so perfect. And by the way, some members in our community are already experiencing this, the change because they're following the doing intuitive eating, or even that awareness that, oh, wait a minute, I used to eat a whole plate of food. I recently told Renee like my favorite food, like I can say this now, used to be pizza. I like pizza, pizza, pizza. Like, and recently I ordered a pizza and I was like, huh, didn't taste the same. Didn't taste the same. I started ordering I didn't even try. I was ordering a drink at Starbucks. I like literally was like my guides pushed the button. You're getting this today. And it was a lavender oat milk. And I was like, okay, I'm getting this. Oh, man, was it good? Oh,
Delicious. I tried that. Yummy.
oh my God. And I've been ordering the same thing at Starbucks for like 25 years. Like my license plates to Starbucks. Literally. So they were like, no, you're getting this today. And then, oh my gosh, but it's beautiful. And they were showing me, get out of patterns, get out of the patterns. This is going to fulfill you today. And man, I was like sipping that thing like it was my favorite glass of wine. I was happy. So, but another thing I want to add here is, and this is so helpful for when you're practicing, just allowing this information to come in. Proof is actually doubt. The need for proof is the energy of doubt because you're not trusting the guidance. So for and that's an old that's a whole consciousness level that it was a collective consciousness. And so if that is a pattern or a habit, and we're saying this with love, if that's a passion, a habit that you have moving forward, in the 5D, it's wait, what do I feel? What do I, okay, I feel like I'm full now. So am I going to go back to the old, oh, but I was taught nutrition wise that I need to have, what is it, the four food groups, blah, 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 right? We have to let go of all of that. That's out the door now. And so anywhere you are, find yourself saying, prove that, prove that. You can stop yourself and say, uh-oh, I'm going into the noodle again. What's in my heart? What do you feel? And just instead of prove it, go, okay, wait, let me stop here. And you have to do this. You have to get yourself into stillness. Um, we've become a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everything comes so quickly, information comes at us so quickly. But when you are using your intuition, feeling what is going on around you, you must come into stillness. You can't be well, I mean, I should say I have the ability now through practice of I can have things going on and still be stillness and have hold a stillness inside. And that's the practice for all of us, moving forward. It's, but find that moment of stillness or moments of stillness during your day. And that is when the information's coming. And I also wanted to add, Renee, when you were talking about it's coming in different ways. Yeah, I'm getting so much more music. And, what did I ask? I'm like, why are you guys giving me so much music? They're like, duh, you worked in the music business for 20 years. Oh, because I always said, well, now I'm doing this. Why, what was I doing there all that time? So it's, they're snarky too. They're like, hey, you told us you like music, so here it is. And it's cool because now, like a song, they'll drop a song in, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what the knowledge is that's coming through. I absolutely know. I don't, and I know a couple in the community have said this, that there was somebody, Renee, because I thought of you, there was somebody in our community recently that said a song popped into her head. She was so cute. She's like, I'm in my 60s and I haven't danced in a long, and she busted a move. And she
Good.
said all of the symptoms she was feeling like were gone and she went into total bliss. And I was like, yes. I'm like, Renee says this all the time. Just
Ah,
put it on and mute. And then she went further though and looked into the meaning of the song and she said was exactly what she needed in the moment. So this is how we're playing. Like this is how we play.
that's so awesome. I love that. And I think, that movement, I'm glad you brought that up because the movement is such a huge thing. Like first I want to say the stillness, when you're talking about the stillness, like people think like get out of the head of what stillness is because a lot of people think, oh, I've got to sit quietly, I've got to do that. Like it's this whole thing that's like, no, like I used to have the greatest stillness moments when I was washing the dishes. Or when when you're just like or sometimes like, and this is a little scary, but when you're driving and then you get to your place, you're like, how did I get here? Like
That's stillness.
exactly. Exactly. So it's that point of like recognize it. The more you recognize it, the more is going to start, coming your way and do it because it's the recognition. But when we're saying, oh, I don't have it, how am I going to get it? No, get that right out of your head. Just get out of everything. Exactly what you said, Patty, earlier. Get out of everything that we know to be and start to feel what feels right. The other thing is, and Bill touched on stuff when he was here on Friday on the whole sound and how, and I'm getting a chill thinking about it, the whole sound and all of that stuff and what it's doing for our body and how we
Yeah.
can do things with our body. And those of you that went to a site and saw the thing and felt that like amazing, but also recognizing and knowing the whole movement aspect. That, was so great. When you put music on that you like, or what you feel like in that moment, if you feel okay, I just feel like melancholy, put a melancholy thing on, but start to just like move your body. You will be amazed at the way the body moves because the body knows how it needs to move to release and get the energy moving. And a lot of us don't recognize or put anything to that. When you're out there dancing, how great do you feel? Right. And just like, when you said, with that comment, like how great you felt afterwards, because the body was probably like, okay, we got all these little things in here and you're not really doing anything to get rid of them. And you just start to move to, close your eyes if you want. Close your eyes so that you're not thinking about it. And I'm not saying just dance, like, okay, well, I know that this is a dance move. No, let your body show you how it wants to move because you'd be amazed what starts to happen at
Yeah.
that point. Trace,
And
what do you got? You look like you had something good.
I don't know. So many subjects run through my brain at once. With the whole sound and the movement, that is so, and what I'm seeing is so profound right now because I think we all know the energies are moving differently, much more rapidly. And there's this very complex element to the energies now. And I'm sure you can speak to this, Renee, because even how I used to see things, I saw it the other day of, I play all the time, do work on myself, on people. And sometimes I like to give people infusions like in their arm of life force energy or whatever it is I'm playing with. And I was doing it on someone and I got, why do you always want to do so slow and long? I'm like, I love my life force energy infusion. What are you talking about? And all of a sudden it was this wave of energies coming, a full body. Like, why just let them come through the whole entire body? And then me trying to be like, oh my God, what color is that? Wait a minute, hold on, slow it down. I want to see, I want to know. And it was like, you can't see or you can't know, even at the level that we all can see and know, because the color and the vibration literally was changing in a millisecond. And it was moving. It was such like this, kaleidoscopes. I know I'm kind of going way out there, but that's where my head was at listening to you, Renee. And it's so fucking awesome and amazing, unexplainable. You can't really put your finger on it, but it is also tied into these sounds and these tones that are within us and also causing, well, it's all in effect together. These reverberations, which, oh, by the way, is universal intelligence. We're saying the same thing in 1,000 different varieties. And the movement, the more you move, the more you are, it's
You're
this.
in
And
it.
I know
You're becoming one. You're becoming one essentially with the energy. Like you're not, because you're not resisting it, allowing
and
the body
it's
to.
internal and it's external.
Yeah.
I was doing work on my sister's nephew, and I said that I can't explain it, but I'm giving him an Iron Man suit. If anyone's
I
watched
love it.
Iron
I
Man,
love
really,
it.
I love the superhuman stuff. But his internal environment and external and external and internal, there's so many levels of the internal and the external. They are all so coming online, and it's everything we're saying: movement, sound, tone, universal intelligence. It's freaking off the charts amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went a
Yeah.
thousand directions.
No, but let me tell you, Tracy, we've got members in the community who are seeing that same kaleidoscope, and they said it came in literally like an electric shock. Like
Yes.
that was how it was felt. So it's, it's spot. Isn't it great that what we used to think was so far out there that now it's our normal discussion. I love this.
I love this stuff. And I love the whole, like you said, the tone as well, because they said we all have a tone inside. And I think I'm pretty sure, I think we touched on that when Bill was in, and I don't know if it was off screen or on screen, but we touched, on that whole thing and how the whole aspect of the tone is coming forward and the sound waves are helping with that whole vibration and bringing that forward, because we have that within us to heal those aspects of our system. Everything is within. It's all moving forward, and some people are like, oh yes, I'm bringing this in. Bad, don't be bringing it in. Like, here, I have to drop the F-bomb, right? Like, the fuck that, like,
Yes.
For those
like,
of you listening, Renee has a physical fuck bomb now
okay,
that she
love
drops.
it. Marilyn Goldberg she knitted this little F-bomb like for me, so I can just drop instead of saying the word. Notice I did say the word anyway, but it's that point of like, forget that, like, just allow yourself to, really be and enjoy all of this beautiful energy and allow that stuff to come forward. Nothing is out, like everything, like even as the vibrations are coming in, like, okay, I see these vibrations coming in, just like I talked with Bill with the rings and all that. Okay. So now the vibration, what it's doing is it's pulling the stuff up. So we're just utilizing something, but it's vibrating with the vibration inside of you, because what we resonate with, we are, right? So all of a sudden, we've now brought this sound healing to us. It's now resonating. It's like, oh, hey, we're ready to bring this forward. Okay, because now we're resonating with that. And it, comes forward and does that whole aspect, which I think is just so freaking phenomenal, and how every aspect of our world is changing. We just have to go with the flow and get out of the comfort zones and say, it's okay to move forward. It's okay for me to be, sort of what Deb had been saying last Monday. That, aspect of like, okay, bring this to me. Like, okay, you said it, I'm in, let's go, bring it on. So hopefully that made any sense. I sort of got off with the F-bomb and forgot what I was doing.
Totally makes.
I think it's cool how our guests are so like, it's this interweaving. Patty, you talk about the quilt, like it's really kind of, even for me, like, wow, look how cool that it's really all starting to weave together. And I just want to say, because the people that say, I think you'd mentioned, I can't see, I'm not understanding it. Renee, you are, and just putting yourself in the energy, that's all that's required, really. Like that's
Yeah.
sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll do the lazy thing, I'll just show up. I'll just sit there, right? Thanks. Thanks, guys. Which is cool and awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
And I also, Renee, you brought something up too, and I actually had a client recall this recently that they experienced that they were looking for guidance for something that they needed a solution to, and they got one immediately that felt good. Every but they stopped to do research and analysis.
Oh,
So they went down the path. That didn't work. That didn't work. That what do our guides do if it's not the right path? It ain't gonna work. And one solution that they were so excited about blew up, like, and was like, now what? And so I said, well, what do you feel? And then they went, know what? I already have the answer, and now I see it. So, and they're I said, was it seamless? Was it choiceless? Did it feel good? If it felt good, that's your answer. And it's like a perfect example. Here's the thing, have compassion for yourself and forgiveness, because the whole point is just get to that. When you get to that awareness, now you start to recognize it, and then you catch yourself. Oh, did I get off? I went off my GPS. What is Waze doing it? Turn right. It starts yelling. Well, our guides are up there doing the same thing. Oh, I had their head turned in the right direction, and now they got into that head, the noodle now, and the noodle's fucking up the whole plan. But they're gonna go, okay, well, we're gonna blow up everything in the noodle path because it's not where you're meant to go. And then you slow down, come into your stillness, and then the guidance. But it always feels good. Your truth and your best and highest good always feels good. And so if you have that a habit of being analytical or needing proof, both of those is doubt, and it's from a fear-based thing, and it's not from love. Everything that's coming in is golden light, it's energy, and it's pure love, and it's already in you. It's like Renee said, it's coming out to be expressed. So any closing thoughts, lady? This one's zipped by. Like we could jam on this one all day long.
I know, right? And I like what you said that, Patty, because when you said it feels good, then the mind usually kicks in, and then you start to question, you start to doubt. Go, do some sort of movement. Write it down. When something feels good, write it down, because sometimes, they'll tell me things. I'm like, oh my God, that is brilliant. I will do that. And then I don't act on it right away because I'm doing something else. And then I'm like, wait, what was that? It's gone. Like it's absolutely gone. Or like for those of you inventors out there, they don't only give you the thing, they give it to many people around. So act on it, move forward, act, do it. You'll be amazed at what starts to come forward.
Love that. Wow. Great discussion, Trace. You got any other
No, because mine will
yes.
take us another 30 minutes.
All right,
So
we'll
to be
do it, but there's
continued.
part two. I'm going to remind you, Trace.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. And thank you again, all of you guys, for listening, liking, and subscribing, and sharing this with whomever's ready to hear it. We love all of you, and we will see you on our next episode.